Good morning, and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we're going to spend about the next 30 minutes together, putting on our makeup and spending a little time together enjoying Jesus. Some beauty on the outside and some beauty on the inside. Well, the foundation verse for this podcast is Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. So we're going to kind of work around that. And then also our verses for 2023 are all going to be coming from the Word in Color coloring book. And you can see that there on your screen. There's a link and there's also a QR code for you. Now, today's makeup look is actually coming to you from my verse coloring page from last week. So last week, well, as long as we're here, let me go ahead and take this one off the screen and let's look at that verse. So our last verse for last week was God's grace is all you need, 2 Corinthians 12:9. And so the colors that I chose in here are what we're going to be doing this week. Now, once again, bear in mind that whatever colors you have, whatever color scheme you like, today I'll actually be using 5 colors. There is one, definitely a dark, 2 mediums, a light, and then a topper. And topper is just kind of a glittery or shimmery or sparkly thing where we're just going to use the tip of our finger to kind of press that into the shadow at the very end. So we've already reviewed our verse, so let's jump in and see what we are in store for this week. So as always, we are going to start with our all-nighter. This is going to be our primer. This gets the face ready to go. Now, this is just going to take one pump and you are done. Then we're going to take that here and we're going to start at the areas where you need a little smoothing out, or in my case, because I'm combo, I get oily through the T-zone here. So this primer is going to help the foundation to adhere and stay and last a little bit better. It doesn't really have any oil control properties, but because it does all those other things well, it kind of does. All right, so now we've got that. We are going to use our It Cosmetics by Under Eye, and this is in the number 11 light nude. And so we're just going to use a little bit of this. This right there. This one does better when it's heated up a little bit, so you can tap it between your 2 fingers if you want, or I just like to put it on here, tap it on my face, let my face heat it up, and then we'll blend it out. So we're just going to hide any blemishes, any darkness. We're also going to use this a little bit like a highlighter of sorts. Okay, might have got a little heavy-handed today. No worries. And you got any pore problems, just get it up in there. Okay. And then I'm going to be using the Beauty Blender. This is the Real Techniques Miracle Air Blend Sponge. I like this because this is a great shape for getting in around the eye, but then that's a great shape for foundation setting. So just a great all-around sponge. And then we're just going to blend that out so we don't have those harsh start and stop lines of that color. This is going to go onto the eyelid a little bit. I kind of have oily eyelids, so I'm going to use this as kind of like an eyeshadow primer of sorts. Then we're going to get under the eye, and we are going to blend that out there. Well, I hope you all had a great week last week working on that verse. I know that coloring page sure was fun. So if you are not working with us with that coloring page, let me tell you, that is one of the ways that has helped me to remember these verses the best, because while I am doing the coloring, I'm like constantly repeating that verse over and over in my mind, or out loud if that helps you, if you're an auditory learner. So whatever it is, find your thing that helps you to remember the verses and then just use that thing. Okay, so now we're going to be using foundation. This is the Lancome Tinty Doll. I am the shade 215 Buff Neutral. Just going to give that a couple of taps. And you can do a pump on the back of your hand and then use your Beauty Blender that way. I like to just kind of squirt it on the sponge. So depending on the area I'm covering, it's just going to get like a tiny little bit like that for each different section of my face. So I start out in the middle. And again, there's no magic in starting out in the middle. But, pick your starting place and then work out. And more of a tap than a smushing. We're trying to get that foundation to settle and to stay put. All right, get another little partial pump for the cheek. Gonna hold my hair back here. I know I have tried wearing those spa headbands while putting my makeup on. I just can't do it. It's too many things in my face. Okay. Oh, and I see some of you on here with me. Good morning. Okay, I have yet to figure out how to do the chat thing and this at the same time, so I'm gonna flick over and see. Hey, Kathy. Good morning. I see you hanging out with me. Nice to have you with me. I don't know if I'll be able to keep checking in throughout the time, but I will certainly try. Okay, now we're going to use another little pump and we're going to take care of that other side. Again, more of a tap than, sliding it around this way. We're not trying to wipe off the foundation that we're putting on. We're trying to put it where we exactly want it to be. And then we're coming right up to that concealer. So that it's blending out, but the concealer is still there to do its job of elevating, lifting that area a little bit. I have a lot of darkness under my eye, and then I'm a little bit tired, so you got some puffiness going on in there too. Whatever. Okay, so now let's take a little bit, and I like to make sure it blends out really nice to my neck. I do not like that 80s line thing that we used to think was so cool, so we're just gonna take that there. And this one is more of a swiping motion. You are just blending that out so that you end up with a nice, beautiful blend just from that foundation down to your neck. Last pump, or partial pump. And now we are going to take care of our forehead. There we go. Going up into that hairline just a little, but you don't want to get into your hair. You just want to go up to your hair. There we go. And then we're going to just make sure we've got that blend out nice to the eye socket there. Okay, once you feel like you have got that all evened out and good, woo, you are good with that. So let's set that over here. I always keep a tissue on my tabletop because I don't like things on my fingers. Maybe you're not that way, but do whatever it is you need so that you've got something there. The other thing is if something goes wrong, I like something near and handy to immediately clean up whatever it was that just went wrong. Okay, so now we are going to use the Fenty. This is the Fenty Matchsticks, and this is in the shade of Amber. This comes in, I want to say like 8 shades. So no matter what your skin tone is, there is a shade for you. So what this is going to do for us is this is going to give us the low points of our face. I have a very round face. I don't have good like cheekbones. So we're going to make cheekbones. Okay, so again, we're going to pull that hair back a little bit. We're just going to come in just barely under where that bone is, yet it's invisible. And then we're going to come up here. I'm going to go down the sides of my nose, just underneath that tip. I know right now it's popular to have that little ball in your nose thing. If you want to do that, just kind of round it out right there. It's not really my thing. All right. Now that we've got that, everything's pretty much about where we want it to be. We are going to take, this is actually the Fenty brush stick for their contouring. So we're going to take this, and you notice this is kind of angled. So we're going to use that angle to our advantage. The shorter end of the angle is going to be the down. The top fluffier end of the angle is going to be the up. So again, we're going to just hold that hair back, and we're just going to kind of go over that area. And we're just going to blend it out a little bit in an upward motion. And then we're going to make sure we get the side of the nose blended out. No harsh lines. Get that contouring up there on the forehead. Work that into that hairline just a little bit. And then the one that we did underneath the neck. That is the double chin aid. All right. Once you feel like you've got everything pretty well blended, you can set that brush aside, and we are going to be setting today. This is the Lancome Long Time No Shine, and this is in translucent. They also have it in a dark shade now, so if you have a darker skin tone than I do, there's now an option for you as well, so that's great. Remove the puff and then just give it a couple of taps so that the powder actually comes into the little tray thing. All right, and we're going to use our little puff. You can do this with a brush if you want. To me, brushes just fluff everything everywhere. I hate dusting. So I'm going to be using the puff that it comes with to kind of set that powder where it needs to be. Let's start with the eye area. I know, for as many people as you will hear, if you're older, don't put powder around your eye. Yeah. I have combo skin. If I don't put powder around my eye, it's gonna be messy. So you do whatever makes you feel good. You do whatever look it is that you like. They can keep their rules. Okay, and I have now put something in my eye. There we go. And we're just gonna cover all over. Alrighty, definitely did get something in the eye there. So let's get that out. That was fun. Okay. And don't forget, we did put that powder down the chin too, so you'll make sure you can catch that too. And again, this is more of a tapping, not a swiping. We don't want to move or disturb what we've just done. We just want to have it have a nice set to it. Okay. There we go. Now we are all good and set. We are going to switch over to our blush now. This is going to be from the Too Faced palette Pinker Times Ahead, and we are going to be using the Park Avenue. I'm sorry, this is the Christmas in New York. This is the Park Avenue Princesses color right here. Super nice pink shade. It almost looks like a little bit much, but it's a really nice, pretty pink color. And we are going to use the end of It Cosmetics brush. This is a dual end. And again, hold that hair back. And I actually forgot to bring over my blush brush, so we're going to use the contouring end here. It'll be fine. And a little bit on the tip of the nose and a little bit on the bottom of the chin. There you go. Such a beautiful pink. Okay. Now we're going to be using the Too Faced Pinker Times Ahead. This is the Cheap Popper. This is going to be our highlighter. And you can tell I love this one because it has, you can see pan already. I'm going to take the fluffy end of the brush here and just going to give that a light dusting. Top of the cheek, just up that corner of that temple. And we're going to go down the center of the face. All right. So we have started a new verse. You can see that scrolling across the bottom of your screen there. So let's say that new verse together. We'll wait till it comes around. There we go. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. And it's always good to know these verses in context. So if you want to know like exactly what that verse is talking about, you can go read Joshua chapter 1, and see what it was that was happening in Joshua's world and why it was that he was told that. And then that may help you to memorize the verse even a little bit better. So we're going to switch over to our lips now. Like I said, this was inspired from my drawing. So today I'm going to be using the NYX Suede Lip Liner, and this is in the color Jet Set, which you will see is a beautiful blue. So let's take a look at that. Again, you don't have to do blue. You do you. So if for you that means the nude, beautiful. If you're going to do any of these blue colors and green colors that I'm going to be using, that would also go really nice with a light pink. We did put that that pink blush on. So you do whatever it is that makes you happy. The eyes are going to be a little bit powerful today. So that would even lend itself to maybe just a lip gloss and let the eyes be the focus. So. And we're lining the outside. And then we're coming just inside of it and giving it a little more line. Okay, I want to make sure I catch that Cupid's bow really good. Okay. Beautiful. And then you can, like usual, to just kind of give that ombre effect, just sort of rub your lips together a little bit, and that'll help lighten the line on there so that we don't have like definitive ends. Today I'm going to be using the lipstick, the KVD Everlasting Liquid Lipsticks, and this is in the color, I don't know how you say this, Scorpirus, maybe Scorpirus because it kind of looks like an iris blue. I don't know. With a lot of these liquid lipsticks, you want to make sure you give it a little bit of a shake before you use it, just to mix the contents up. The KVD liquid lipstick, when COVID happened and we all had our masks on, the black lipstick is what I used to run a test, and that lipstick stayed on my lips, did not smudge, did not budge, did not move with that mask on my face. So I love these. They did change the formula a little bit, but it's still nice. Not as drying as they used to be. There you go. Little, my dad used to call the little goo things like on the ketchup bottle goobies. So just getting the gooby off of that. All right. Hello, Denise. I see you on. Good to see ya. All right. And once you are happy with the shape of your lip, I got a little thingy right there. Okay, better. Then you can call your lips done. Today we are going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is the Wahala 2 palette, and we are going to be hanging out in these colors here. This right here is Dream. We'll be using that one. We'll be using Shakara. We'll be using Lust. We'll be using Hater. We'll be using Dope, and we'll be using Goals. So we're going to live here, 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 and here. That sounds like the Aladdin thing, doesn't it? And the exits are here, 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 here. Okay, anyways. I know, you can't take me anywhere. So to start out with, we're going to be using the lighter color, the Shakara. We're going to use an all-over eyeshadow brush. This one is an It Cosmetics brush. Let me see if I can actually get that palette over here, make it a little bit easier. All right, and that is just a nice kind of ivory white color. We're going to go on the top of the brow bone with that. Just give us a little lift and illumination there. Beautiful. I just love that color. It gives you enough shimmer, but not too much shimmer. And then we're going to set up the foundation with the color of Dream. Now, Dream is a fairly intense blue color. So you want to make sure that you get some on your brush, but you're not over stacking your brush. We don't want a bunch of powder that's going to like fluff off and get in your eye or anything like that. So this is going to go all over the bottom part of the lid. And then you can always pick up more if you need it. But in the case of eyeshadow, more is not better. There we go. And we're just going to kind of use this as a foundation. So when we put those other colors on, they've got a little something back behind them to allow them to show their full, true colors. I don't know if you were to look at this right now, you'd be like, oh my gosh, what is she doing? Don't worry, we're not going to leave it like that. All right. Now we want to make sure that our blue is coming up about the same height on both sides. So just kind of, you know, look down a little bit so that you can have the most part of your eyelid open, and then see if your blue is about the same height as the other side. I think mine's about even there. There we go. Okay, so we are going to switch brush. I'm going to use an angled shadow brush. This one is a MAC brush. I can't read the number because I've had the brush too long. And we are going to use the shade Lust. Nah, let's use the shade Jealous. It's a little bit lighter of a green. Just give it a light tap because we're going to use this as a blending between the blue and the white. So right where those two colors are meeting each other, right on the joint of that, we're just going to take that light color and just go over it to blend those out together. Tapping lightly and then just blending those together using that Jealous green. Okay. Then we are going to tap that off a little bit. There you go. Just use, remember I told you how to keep a tissue on here? I'm just going to tap this off on the tissue, get some of that blue off of there, and now we're going to add some of the shimmer shades. So the first one is we are going to start with Hater, and Hater is the kind of green shimmer, and we're going to go to the inside of the eye with that green shimmer. We're going to go about halfway across the lid there. There we go. Making sure that we're covering up the blue there. There we go, halfway across that lid. There you are. Again, we're going to wipe that brush off just a little bit, and now we're going to go over that area with Dope. And Dope is going to, yeah, let's do Dope. Dope is going to go on the outside. Because these are kind of shimmers, you definitely want to make sure you don't get too much on this. They tend to be a little more crumbly. And we don't want a bunch of fallout on our face. So we're going to take that and we're just going to add that to the other half of that lid. Oh, hey, Cindy. Good to see ya. Okay, I see you got to run, but nice to have you here with me. That's okay. You can catch the video and finish up the look afterwards. And nice to see you, Patty. Thank you. You're so sweet to say that. Okay. So now what we have is kind of two sides. I do have a little bit of fallout going on here, so we're going to take our loose fluffy brush and we're just going to dust away that fallout before it decides to hang out for too much. Okay. Um, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to take, it's called Goals, and it is a very, let me see, show you that one. It's a very glittery color. These, you don't really need brushes. These you're just going to use your middle finger for. And actually, in looking at this, let's take that, um, the brush that the angle that we were using, let's go ahead and put that back in the Shakira, which is the white color we use. And let's just go over this here, just making sure we've got that blended out nice and smooth before we go putting that topper on there. There you go. Coming down, making sure we've got this all good. There you go. Okay, now we're going to take our finger, middle finger, and you're going to put that in the goals or whatever topper you have. I've also seen some NYX ones that are like in a roll-on, and you can just kind of roll it. This is going to go right in the center where those two colors are meeting each other. And you're just going to kind of use this as an accent for those other colors. And if this is not your thing, that's okay. Just blend those two shades together that you had of whatever color it was that you chose and just let that be. You're good. This is just a little something extra because we all need a little something extra, especially on pre-Friday. All right, so we're going to keep that palette here though, because once we get our eyeliner on, we're going to add a little bit of the blue. Right now, everything is sitting up on the top of our eyes. That makes everything a little top heavy. So we're going to balance it out. So we are going to use our eyeliner. This is a NYX retractable in black. And then we're also going to be using the NYX Epic liner in black as well. So with this color, we're just going to go to the top corner and go just about halfway. Same thing on the other side, top corner, about halfway. There you go. And I do see a little bit of fallout, so let me, there we go. Get that out of the way. Now we're going to take this. We're not going to line the whole bottom lid. If you line the entire underneath of the eye or the top, you're really closing down the eye, so we want to open it up a little bit. So we're just going to do the outside edge here, right up against that lash line. We're only going to go about halfway across. We just need a little something, not like a whole lot of something. And then same thing on the other side here. There you go. So we got it about halfway across, and I see there's like a little glitter hanging on my lash. There we go. And because I am going to wear false eyelashes, I like for them to have something really good to adhere to, so I always put a liquid eyeliner on to give them something slick to stick to. So this is the NYX Epic Wear, and we're just going to make a very thin line all the way across that thin because we don't want to close down the eye and make it seem dark and small. We just need a little bit of a line for the lashes to adhere to. And it seems like that's especially necessary when you use a topper. Okay. And you can see how ever so thin that line is. Just a little lightweight. Let it dry just a little bit. Then we're going to take our liner eyeshadow brush and pick a color. Which color do you want to be your accent color? I think for today, I'm actually going to choose the darker one. So I'm going to go with a little of the Dope. So just going to take that tip of that brush and put that through that eyeshadow there. You definitely don't want too much loaded on your brush for this one. So we're going to take that brush with a little bit on there, and we are going to go right along that lower lash line. And bring that color to the bottom underneath the eye. There you go. You can see it's just ever so small of a line. You can use a pencil if you've got a matching liner pencil for that. Urban Decay's liner pencils are really great, work really great for this. I just chose to use a shadow liner. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, catch any follow. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of fun. Okay, I think I'm going to take just a tiny bit. I'm going to use this liner brush again. And I really like the Goals glitter. I don't want too much of it, but I'm just going to take a little bit and put it right down here. There. That was fun. Okay. So now we can set aside our eyeshadow brushes. We're going to give just a once over with that loose brush, making sure we don't have any fallout. And now we are going to work on our brows. So for me, because I have pink hair, I can't decide what I'm going to do with my hair next. So it's still pink for the time being. So we are going to take the eyebrow, whatever it is that you're using. If you are using Benefit eyebrow products and you're using a pencil, or you've got, a pomade, you're using what's kind of like a brow mascara, which is what I've got here. Whatever it is, you're going to do that part now. So, but before we jump into our eyebrows, let's say our verse together one more time. So our verse for this week is going to be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. So now let's do our brows. Okay, so whatever your brow product is, you can apply that. I really think there needs to be some brow company that specializes in fashion colors. Benefit used to have fashion colors. Are you listening? But they discontinued them, so not fun. They were like ahead of their times, I think. And then at the peak of fashion colors, they discontinued their line of fashion color brow products. So that's kind of weird. All right, and depending on your brow product, I know if you're using a brow mascara kind of thing like I am, you want to make sure you kind of go in the opposite direction to get those hairs covered in that brow gel. If you're using a pencil, you want to make sure that you're using your spoolie to work out that brow product so that it doesn't end up with build up in one area, or if you goop anything, that little spoolie will become your best friend to help you get rid of that. So once you've done your brows, however long that takes you, and you got them the way that you want them, if you are going to use a brow setter, a brow gel, a clear pomade, whatever, to do that, this is when you would do that. And now we have, I think this one's a little bit darker than this one. Okay. There you go. Now your brows are done. I am going to actually take the puff from the powder setting, and I'm just going to clean up that outer edge a little tiny bit. There we go. And now we are going to, I have clear lashes or blonde lashes. Can you see them? So we're going to put a little mascara on before we do our lashes. So This week I am using the uh, Hourglass Unlocked Mascara, and then I'll be using the Tarte Eyelash Curler. And because I can't see close up, I'll be using a magnifying mirror. So I'll try to keep it out of your screen though. I usually say the verse while my lashes are clamped, and that's about the right time for taking the lash thing off. So, be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Go to the other side. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Okay. And that eyelash curler you're putting close to your skin of your eyelashes, but don't let it pinch. Your eye should never water um, when you're using an eyelash curler. If so, you got it too close and you're probably going to rip your lashes out. So use those gently. Alrighty. I've heard of some heated ones too. I've never tried one of those before. I don't know. Since I wear lashes a lot, I'm not sure how fun that would be. And also sticking a heated device beside my eye just kind of doesn't seem like a good idea. All right. Catching those top lashes on the other side. Oh my gosh, that topper is so beautiful. I hope you can see that. Can you see that? It's just gorgeous. I love those flecks. It's like a mermaid is living on my eyelid. Okay. We're just lightly covering those lashes so that when I put the false lashes on, they're going to blend in together. Then we're going to cover our bottom lashes. There you go. No need for too much here. Just need a little bit. There you go. Nice little bubble of mascara there. That's always fun. Okay, catching the other side. Mm. And like I said, you could do this look. You could do this look with browns. You could do this look with purples. It doesn't have to be the mermaid blues. Well, actually, in this case, it was peacock blues, but it doesn't have to be that. So now we are ready to put our lashes on. So we are going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is the Nubian Lash Egypt Flare. Then the glue that we're going to be using today is the Kiss Lash Couture Super Strong and Clear. And then my favorite tools of all for doing lashes are going to be the velour tools. I use these three things here. These three things are amazing, have lasted me a long time, do really well. When you're pulling when you take your lashes off, you know, sometimes the glue gets in the lash hairs. This little tool right here, this little comb is going to be your best friend because it is going to comb through and remove that glue without damaging the lashes. And that is definitely going to be an asset because I don't know about you, but lashes can be kind of expensive. And so I want to get the most out of them that I possibly can. So I removed the lashes from their little tray and I set them on my desktop surface here. Grab the lash with the velour tool and let me give that glue just a tiny bit of a shake. There we go. And we are going to just go along that lash strip with the glue. And I like to cover the top edge of it. And then also just barely on the inside edge of that. You want to make sure that you catch those corners really good with that glue. Corners are probably the thing that have the tendency to lift the most on everybody. And then we are going to take the other side and do that same thing, lining the band with that adhesive. You can use the black adhesive if you like. I was having some troubles with like eye watering and allergy issues with the black, and then I found out that dang near all of the black glue the black adhesive, um, has latex in it. Well, it turns out, guess what? I am allergic to latex. So isn't that fun? Did not know that. I'm going to call it a mild latex allergy. If you do like I just did, where I've got a little drop of glue on the lash itself, just get that off really quick, and then you'll be fine. So we're going to let that glue set for just a second. We want it to get a little bit tacky, kind of like with super glue, before you go and put it on. That way it'll actually stick to your eyelids a little bit better, and you won't have to keep adjusting it. So it'll just help it out a little bit. So I'm going to pick up that first lash that I did. Going to grab it in the middle of the lash, just like this. Going to give it a couple of fans, make sure that it's nice, good, and dry. And we are going to set this lash right up against where my lash meets my eyelid. It's going to go on the skin, but you want to nestle it right down in there where we put the eyeliner, so that you have the most seamless look for your lash application. And again, I'll be using that magnifying mirror. So we are going to set that down in the middle right there. And we're going to come over here to the inside edge and walk that around. Set that exactly where we want that to be. Go to the outside edge. Lift that up. Put that exactly where we want that to be. And we're just going to press all the way around. Make sure that the lash strip is actually made contact with the eyelid, so we won't have any, or reduce the possibility of lifting. And it looks like this one's a little high, so we're just going to tap that down just a little bit. There we go. While it's still wet, you got a little bit of playtime, so get it where you want it. Okay, just going to make sure I didn't mess with that. There we go. So when looking at this, you can now see the difference between the two sides. I think I got a little glue transfer. There we go. You can see the difference between what that does for my eye. The eye that doesn't have it versus the eye that does have it. And there are all kinds of lash sizes and styles and everything right now. I would encourage you to play around a little bit and see what lash it is that you like the best. There are several brands like Kiss that do like a variety pack. I believe Allure does as well. And they have, 4, 5, 12 different kinds of lashes in there. Wear each one of them and take pictures of yourself and, get a selfie of each one and see which one it is you like the best on your eyes. I love the flares. Okay, again, we're going to set this down in the middle, right up against that lash line there. I'm going to walk this around to the inside edge here. Take the outside. Put that where we want it. I'm going to press around the lash, making sure everything has made contact with your eyelid. Now we're going to make sure that our lashes have integrated well and playing nicely with the false lashes. There we go. Double checking the inside corners up. Okay, gonna dry that just a little bit. There you go. And now we have the lashes on, so you can see with the lashes in there, it's kind of toned down a little bit, all the color that we had on the lids. So the more full that your lashes are, the more it's going to kind of bring down the color it is that you have on there. And so now that we have done that, our final step for the day is we're going to use our Urban Decay De-Slick or whatever setting spray it is that you have. Again, I do not like to waste setting spray, so I'm going to tip my head back and spray it on my face. Fan that down a little bit. We'll let that dry. All right, so that is our look for today. So thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I look forward to chatting with you throughout this week on social media, or better yet, come to my store in Midlothian and we'll actually chat in person. And let's review our verses that we have going on so far. So just so you know, to make sure that I get the verses with the right episode, I do have the episode number and the scripture reference, but not the verse. So let's look at these together. Now I'm going to put the verse up for you. After we have looked at the verse together. So here we go. Episode 1, we did 1 Peter 1:24 and 25. And that was the grass withers and the flowers fall, but the word of the Lord endures forever. 1 Peter 1:24 and 25. So let's look at that and see if we got that right. Okay. The grass withers and the flowers fall, but the word of the Lord endures forever. 1 Peter 1:24 and 25. Awesome. Good job. I hope you did good with that. Episode 2, we did Philippians 4:13. Philippians 4:13 is I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. So let's look at that and see how we did with that one. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. Awesome. Awesome. Last week we did, let me get back up there. There we go. God's grace is all you need. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Let's take a look at that. God's grace is all you need. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Awesome. And then our verse for this week is going to be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. And again, all of our verses for this week are going to be coming from the Word in coloring book. There's a little QR code on the screen for you and a link to that as well. That was the picture that I showed you at the beginning of the podcast. So this is an affiliate link that you're looking at here. So when you use that link, it's kind of like giving me a tip. Thank you. I appreciate that. So color along with me. On Wednesdays, we'll kind of finish up the project together and I'll show you mine. You can send me a picture of yours. So for right now, you can find a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus on your favorite podcasting platform, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you get the picture. So let me get over there. Until we meet again, my friends, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. That's number 6:24 through 26. So, Father, thank you so much for my friends hanging out with me today, or the ones that are viewing it later online. And I just pray blessings upon them. And I pray that you would be with us this week as we learn our new verse from Joshua, Father, that you would bless our hearts and that you would help us to hide your word in our hearts. Father, I just pray that you would help us to enjoy this time together, enjoying Jesus together, and that we would all have a blessed week this week. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. Thank you for hanging out with me today. You have a beautiful day, and God bless.